Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Today we're going to be doing another over-under on my prediction for a 2021 football team. Now, if you've been watching, I've did 3 teams from the ACC and 3 teams from the SEC. And like I said before, unless I get some more requests to do teams from the Big 10 or the Big 12 or the Pac 12, then we're going to try to keep it here in the Southeast, because almost everybody that I know personally likes a team either in the ACC or the SEC. So today we're going to jump back into the ACC because I believe my last one was on Auburn, which is an SEC team. So today we'll jump back into the ACC and we'll do the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Now, if you've been watching outside of Miami, and I did Miami because a good friend of mine from work named Chris is a Hurricane fan and asked me to, so I did. But outside of Miami, every team I've did so far has been, I'm not going to say bad, but they've been kind of the low to middle of the conferences, and I'm going to try to wait till closer to football season, and the closer we get, then the more I'll get into the better teams. So we're starting from the bottom and working up, so to speak. And then, of course, as football season gets close, then we'll start looking at, overall, maybe my predictions on who's going to win the conferences and who's going to go to the playoffs and things like that. All depends on what kind of comments I get as we go. These are just my predictions on how many games these teams will win. And like I said, today we're going to do Wake Forest. If you're a college football fan or know someone who is, please feel free to tell them to watch this video and let me know if they agree with me or not. I've always been a big fan of Wake Forest head coach Dave Clawson, but since he's not a big-time name, he has a little problem recruiting. So Wake Forest is never going to be a great team, but he's such a good coach that they're never going to be a terrible team. So I'll go ahead and give you my predictions for the 2021 football season. And like I've already said, what say you when I get done? Let me know whether or not you agree with my predictions. They open up on a Friday night, opening weekend, the 3rd of September, against Old Dominion. And then they play Norfolk State, another non-conference game, before week 3 when they jump into conference play and play Florida State. And their bye week will be in week 7. So it'll be 6 games bye week, 6 more games. And I believe this is the 7th team that I've covered. And I believe this is the 4th team that I've covered that's had a bye week in week 7. So at least here in the Southeast, it seems like most teams are going to be off on week 7. Hopefully, whatever team you like will be playing in week 7. But a lot of teams in the ACC and the SEC are going to be off on week number 7. They play Florida State, Virginia, Louisville, and then Syracuse will be their final game before their bye week. And then after the bye week is another non-conference game against Army. When I look at their schedule, I think they're going to beat Old Dominion. I think they're going to beat Norfolk State. I think they're going to beat Louisville and Syracuse and Army and Duke. And then I think they'll wrap up the season by beating Boston College. I know that Dino Babers was a hot commodity a few years back at Syracuse, but they have progressively gotten worse every year since then. So I think this will be Dino Babers' final year with Syracuse. So I think Wake Forest will beat them. And also, if you recall, Louisville in 2018, the last year of former coach Bobby Petrino, they were only a 2-win team. It was the only bad year Petrino's ever had in all his years of coaching at the collegiate level. Louisville was terrible. And then in 2019, they brought on Scott Satterfield. They got him from Appalachian State, and the same team that won 2 games in 2018 came back and won 8 games in 2019. And then last year, that same team was terrible. And Scott Satterfield even tried to leave and take jobs at other places, but he couldn't get one. So, of course, now he says he's committed to Louisville. But I also think this will be his last year in Louisville because I think they're in shambles and they're in turmoil. And they also believe that Scott Satterfield does not want to be there because he interviewed at other places last year and didn't get the job. So I've got Wake Forest beating Old Dominion, Norfolk State, Louisville, Syracuse, Army, Duke, and Boston College. So I've got them going 7-5 overall, which is pretty good for Wake Forest football. If you follow Wake Forest, you know they're generally somewhere between 5 wins and 8 wins. Ever since Clawson took over, they've never been great, but they've never been terrible. But Sam Hartman is a pretty good quarterback, and like I said, Dave Clawson is an amazing, amazing football coach. So I've got them going 7-5, but that's a pretty good season for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. So if you're a football fan or know someone who is, please feel free to tell them to watch this video and let me know whether or not you agree with me. We'll be doing some more over-unders coming up here in the next few weeks. I like to look at these predictions early in the season before you really know anything, when most positions have not had a starter names yet. And even special teams, sometimes you don't know who the kicker's going to be, who the punter's going to be. But it's just fun making a prediction and then going back in the middle of the season and seeing how close you were to being right. So I've got Wake Forest going 7-5 in the 2021 football season. When I was a kid, I wanted to play the guitar really badly. And now I can say, after years of work, practice, and dedication, I can now play the guitar really badly. And that is your dad joke of the day. I try to give a dad joke every single day and give you a good laugh. Everybody likes a good dad joke. And if you have not yet watched my SWA preview that I did from Wednesday night for SWA Resurrection, which is coming up tomorrow night at 244 Livestock Road, East Denali, Georgia, please go back and watch that. And if you're a wrestling fan, and if you have not yet watched my video from yesterday where I did my top 10 all-time masked wrestlers, please go back and watch that as well. And until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.